we don't really have any whole lot of those teams in the tournament tonight. Definitely like to see him back in future weeks for sure, though.
Next season, I think, starts November 5th or 6th. I think it's the 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
And those come out quick.
Yeah, so it's going to be pumped out relatively shortly, so we'll be able to see more of that, or rather maybe not see it, but at least witness the results afterwards.
Awesome. Well, taking a look at the side of where's Baldette, we've got Josiah, man. So he's kind of the one that sticks out to us, knowing that he's pretty good on that tracer. Played quite a bit else as well. So I'm looking for Sinatra's rap playlist to try to get a grip onto him. Like you said, Hobbs is also on this Sinatra's rap playlist team, and he used to play on the team Helix Esports. That was the one. It was like about a year ago, and they're actually really good, if you recall. But it looks like we do actually have a Sombra coming out for Car, so we'll see if he's able to charge up that EMP. Chrono Dota, though, taken down early on. Not really going to matter too much as long as they can keep Crimzo up and healthy and try to get him back up. As Crimzo actually gets taken down here, it's maybe an opportunity to try to pull something out, but it doesn't look like that's the case.
So Chrono, the tank here, does go pretty low, but is going to be able to stay alive long enough to allow his Mercy to get him some heals, as well as Car actually using that mega health pack that they have hacked. And great control already from Sinatra's playlist as they're just holding this corner down, and now holding onto an EMP here. They're looking pretty solid to maybe slow them down for another.
I didn't need to drop that EMP, of course. They're able to follow through with those kills thanks to Hobbs and SKT T1 Huni running around on a rampage, looking for Josiah again, who's coming up on that pulse bomb. He's going to be the one to keep an eye out. Pulse bomb comes out. EMP now out from Car. Not going to play too aggressively, though, in terms of getting Chrono Dota out there. They're just going to follow through with that kill onto Baldo's mech. And they're going to bring up Nitrogen, though. Let's see if they're going to pop that Transcendence. Transcendence actually comes through here, so they're going to actually commit a little bit to this one. Zoom now coming up on a Dragon Blade. Going to unsheath this one. Immediately, though, it's going to be on the other end. It's going to be Mercy Convertible taken down by that Pulse Bomb. Dragon Blade doesn't get much value at all here. And it looks like Sinatra's rap playlist holding on, but need those respawns to get back here.
And they're putting pressure on the front line. Even still, this Tracer here, SKT T1 Huni, really laying in at the front line, putting some pressure onto Nitrogen specifically here, but also to some extent Baldo, and he's actually kind of charged with doing just that. So good there, and just putting some pressure onto the Mercy in the back line as well.
They're going to go ahead and pop the Valkyrie here from the offensive end. Self-destruct out to initiate. Hobbs was trying to get around the corner. Of course, he's going to get brought right back up into this one. Primal Rage on the front end as Chrono Dota trying to hold that front line, but in the meantime, there's a Primal Rage coming out now from the offensive side. Josiah ready to go with the Pulse Bomb if he can find his mark, but ultimately, it seems to be a little bit scrappy from both ends, but it looks like Nitrogen pulling out the bulk of the weight here, but no EMP on the payload here. They might be able to clean up off of this if they can keep Huni alive on the Tracer along with Thunderbolt, but he's going to be demeched, and I think that where's Baldette have the advantage now. They should be able to secure this checkpoint.
Still holding on to that, but we will see that second Transcendence ready to go from Momo for Hanzo. And he's just holding on to that, so definitely expect them to be pulling that one out just to secure this if they have to. We'll have to see if maybe Sinatra's rap playlist does actually decide to get involved into this. I mean, it is contested, so they're going to go for it now. 85% on Hobbs' attack buy, so he's going to need to get that up a little bit higher here.
It's being contested, though, by the Genji. They force out the Transcendence. They're going to put a bit into this one. Yes, Tactical Visor coming out. They need to make sure they can contest the payload, though. Dragon Blade now out from Zoom. Immediately finds Crimzo, but no, it's Hobbs. Tactical Visor able to secure that kill, eliminate the threat of the Genji here. But remember, there are two beefy tanks on the payload for this side of where's Baldette, in the Diva, in the Winston. Only the Tracer, Sombra in the area, but he's not going to last too much longer. And where's Baldette going to make this a game?
They have people coming back from a pretty long spawn here, too, so now they're going to allow for the defense to likely get mostly into position here defensively, and again, because they are running that Sombra with the EMP ready, they are going to have an opportunity to really get aggressive here should they desire that option, and it looks like they might go for that.
He does have EMP, so he's just going to drop it right on the payload here. We'll see what they want to make of this. What else they want to drop is the real question. Pulse Bomb's out there, able to find a bit of damage onto, I believe it was Nitrogen, but on the other end, Josiah sticks it to Hobbs. They go ahead and pop that Valkyrie, so everyone's going to be safe, but no, Baldo finding a double, make it 2.5, with Diva being taken out of the mech, but it's kind of just a one-man army at this point here, because he's going to be forced to back off of this.
Nitrogen now with that Primal Rage, definitely going to look to kind of take a one-on-one, kind of a little bit of a pushing battle, I would say. Just trying to create space against Chrono Dota, who's going to be doing much the same in the opponent's backline. So, you know, these guys are going to go head-to-head and in a way, obviously not against each other, but, or I mean, directly against each other, but certainly going to be probably timed around the same time. And actually, man, they are actually getting a little bit of a 1v1 up top here.
Forcing out that early res is going to be good here. Maybe Where's Baldette can actually take it to him, knowing that that's not available, and they don't have a Valkyrie to work with. But both Primal Rages now going to come out as well. Tactical Visor up from Zoom, who made that change over from Genji earlier on. Transcendence on the payload as well. Keep him nice and healthy for the most part, but honestly, Sinatra's Rat playlist playing pretty reserved at the time. Would have maybe liked to see that Transcendence be held onto it for a little bit longer here. Now they're going to pop the Valkyrie coming out there from Convertible, try to pull themselves back into this one, get a little aggressive with it. They don't really have much to work with other than now a Transcendence coming out from Karkar, and they should be able to hold the line. They've got the numbers here. It's a 5-on-6 on the payload here, favoring the defense, and they're going to push them back.
Impeccably timed there from Karkar. Somehow, Chrono Dota has been able to stay alive here, not just because of Karkar, but also because of Crimso, who is going to be able to get that Valkyrie up. And Chrono Dota, he's really been kind of just kept alive incessantly by these supports so far.
Oh, Josiah sticks it to him, but no, he loses his own life at the cost of picking up that Mercy kill, which I'd say is worth it at this point, given that they've got the numbers advantage right now. Still have Huni running around on the Tracer, but ultimately there's no one really coming off of a respawn. They've got Chrono Dota, but I don't even think he's going to look to contest. It looks like he's going to back off. He is coming up on his Primal Rage, and he contested on that first checkpoint, so he's going to do it again. Yerk's now moving in. They do have that ultimate from Crimso, but no, he's taken down immediately. Tactical Visor up top from Zoom as well. Nobody here to contest. Would have liked to see the Diva be the one to contest Yerk's, but unfortunately, they needed to contest the payload itself. They secure themselves another 90 seconds. They've got 145 to work.
I mean, honestly, so far, a really, really solid defense coming out from Sinatra's Rap playlist, and it's really kind of worked out well so far. It's just they haven't been able to close the deal, you know. They've allowed these guys to come through with just seconds remaining, and just haven't been able to stop them all the way. I mean, we will see Zoom taking some pressure, and they are super good about being aggressive and taking time off the clock, but they need to be able to stop them before this third checkpoint goes through.
Looking for something big here from side of Hobbs. We'll see if they can eliminate that Baldo threat with the defense matrix, but I don't even think they're going to need to drop the Tactical Visor. They are just fine as is here. It's pushing them all the way back towards that spawn. Self-destruct comes out. He finds Thunderbolt. Now a Tactical Visor up top from Hobbs, but no, it's the double kill. Josiah sticks it to Crimso, finds that crucial Mercy pick, not allowing Hobbs to really find much up top other than getting rid of that Diva Mech Yerks, but they're going to be off of respawn rather quickly, back to that payload, and they are cruising forward. They've got 45 seconds to work with and a Valkyrie at their back.
Vinny in the back, just kind of skirting around, has a nice opportunity to get a good pulse bomb stick, does indeed find it onto the Zenyatta here. That's big to kind of shut down that possibility of a Transcendence in this fight, but the Res is going to go ahead and disable that first pick.
They're going to hold on to that Valkyrie. As I say it, they bring up Nitrogen. Now we're going to see them look to move off of this if possible. They still contest this one. We're going to hit 20 seconds to go here. Now Transcendence comes through, but no, not quite in time to save Nitrogen on the front line here. It's a Primal Rage in the back comes out from Chrono Dota trying to wreak havoc, but ultimately, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to find a whole lot in the front line. Going to be forced all the way back here. We're going to hit overtime. They only really have a pulse bomb and a Tactical Visor to work with here. Tac Visor now out from the side of Zoom. What can he find? He's on the low ground. It's going to be into a Diva and a Winston here. He's not going to grab much for himself at all. Remember, this defense has a spawn advantage, but it still looks like Where's Baldette picking up the kills.
Chrono Dota gonna fall there, so now they don't have a tank on here left except for Thunderbolt, who did just get back into the mech, now gonna be falling back out of it and staying alive on it. Can they find the Zenyatta kill? He actually does go down, but quite late there in overtime now. Can they finally execute this and stop them in their tracks?
They've got a Transcendence on the side of the defense. Should keep them nice and healthy. A nice pulse bomb. Huni sticks it to Nitrogen, finds the kill. Do they have the Resurrect available for him? Karkar going to be brought back up into the fray. Pulse bomb on the other side. Just not quite able to stick it here. Still, they are down 3 people. Baldo going to be taken out of the mech here. They don't have the Mercy at their backs here, as Crimso is going to be taken down. Only the Tracer going to be able to contest. Josiah is taken down. And that will be Sinatra's Rap playlist, holding them just shy of that third checkpoint here on Route 66.
And think about how, I guess, unfortunate and fortunate in a way, depending on how you're looking at it, because, I mean, really, they could have stopped them on first point. They could have stopped them on second point. It was just that close, and then finally, just shy of that third and final objective, they finally make that stop, and off of a pretty back and forth, pretty close fight where they really had to take advantage of the fact that their spawn was just so close. But man, really, I mean, we did see a lot of clawing back from Where's Baldette, a couple of really good plays that got them into the position where they were able to just kind of weather the storm in a way. So now here on defense, can they do much the same? Can they find a stop early on? Because their attack, you know, had a couple of moments where it faltered, but overall they still got it pretty far. So they really did give themselves a good chance here to actually, you know, come up with a good result in this first map.
Good chance indeed, given the fact that they were nearly full held, just shy of that first checkpoint. I think they had a little bit of time, maybe like 45, 50 seconds or so, and then they captured the second checkpoint with like 20 to 30 seconds remaining. So, you know, they were scraping by Hurix, but they got to the end of Route 66, not quite able to finish that one out. Would have definitely liked to see that happen and potentially, you know, pull out an upset here on game number 1. Not to say it can't happen right now, but looking for Zoom, looking for Josiah again to pull through, because ultimately those fights going in their favor, you know, was off the pulse bomb, was off a tactical visor from Zoom as well. So, of course, Zoom made that change over from the Genji. Kind of like that pick. I don't feel like his Dragon Blades really did much. He had 2 of them and maybe found 1 kill, maybe, between both of those. So, made that change after the first checkpoint, and that tactical visor 76 worked out pretty well for him here. So, we'll see if Sinatra's rap playlist can pull themselves into this one, try to get this first game victory here in the semifinals, best of 3 semifinals. Maps number 2 being Dorado and Nepal. And we'll see what Hobbs can do here on the Widowmaker.
Hobbs gonna
as he changes to 76.
He's going to be swapped back, just looking for an opening pick to see if they were getting aggressive. They aren't, so he doesn't want to go ahead and try to make aggressive peaks like that. It's going to be pretty dangerous, so I do like that swap. And now they're going to have to try to find a way to try to push them off of big arrows here. They already found an opening pick onto Baldo, and he's going to get rezzed up, but they're still finding momentum here.
Baldo gets back into his mech here as he does come through with the kill onto Hobbs. He's still on the payload along with Josiah, and we'll see as Karkar kind of trying to peel here for Crimzo on the Mercy as he keeps flying back and forth. Josiah trying so hard to find the kill, but no. Chronodota comes to the rescue, finds Baldo, and ultimately will secure that kill onto Josiah as they are cruising forward now past the gas station. Plenty of time to contest for Where's Baldette, but waiting to get all 6 back up into this.
Baldo was just so close on that last one to be able to find at least something, but didn't in the long run, and now they do have that momentum that we were talking about. Crimzo, who stayed alive, does have that Valkyrie going.
Drop a pulse bomb from Huni as well. Doesn't quite find anything. A tactical visor's up top from Zoom. Where's the Diva? Not in his face necessarily. It's going to be a Primal Rage to Winston, knocking him all the way around. Meanwhile, on the payload, it's going to be the defense breaking out the Transcendence. Really not a whole lot of people in the area to actually be around him to heal him up here, because he was really just trying to contest the payload overall here. And that's going to be Sinatra's rap playlist securing the first checkpoint. They've got 440 to work with, and they are in a considerably better position than what we saw from Where's Baldette.
A big thing you'll notice here in this matchup is the fact that Chronodota is constantly supported. I mean, whether it be from Thunderbolt just giving him that defense matrix so he can get into these insanely aggressive positions, or you see the Mercy healing the Winston, or obviously the Harmony Orb that is almost always on Chrono when he's actually diving in and being aggressive, trying to push that fight forward and try to create a little bit of room, a little bit of space there for Hobbs and Crimzo in the back line. I mean, it's been fantastic to see Chrono, how much support he's been able to get so far.
Tactical visor up top from Hobbs, looking for something. He's going to get them a little bit of a better positioning, a little bit better of an angle here with the payload around the backside. Is the Tracer. We'll see if we're going to actually have the Winston come out as well. Self-destruct on the payload. Doesn't quite find anything here, but now it's a pulse bomb. Zoom going to be dropped. Meanwhile, Nitrogen trying to come around with the flank on the backside here, trying to deal with that Diva and that Zen. Going to get res back up, though. Transcendence now coming out from Karkar. They're going to go ahead and pop Crimzo's Valkyrie as well. Pulse bomb under Thunderbolt, just going to be healed right back up thanks to that Zen. But Tactical Visor in the low ground. Can Zoom find anything here? Trying to pull this one back. Where's Baldette? They have the numbers.
That was actually really, really good from Where's Baldette, but almost to some extent, I would say it was just kind of badly coordinated to some degree by Sinatraas rat players. They had a a fantastically timed Transcendence that came out from Karkar there, but at the end of the day, you have to be on top of the Transcendence, or else you're obviously going to receive no benefit. And that's exactly what happened to Hobbs. He was just too far away, caught out, got pinned down by some tanks, and just isolated. And that's exactly what kind of lost some of that momentum. They lost a lot of that damage pressure initially, and you know, pulling reses out on stuff like that, it's going to hurt you in the long run because you're not going to be able to keep those tanks in the fight.
Gonna look for another push. 2:40 to go here. Winston barrier is down. We'll see if he still wants to commit to this. Self-destruct thrown way out into space. Don't even know where that one went. Meanwhile, on the payload, we've got the Transcendence coming out here from the side of the defense. Up top is a pulse bomb. Chronodota taken down considerably low as Josiah able to follow through off of that. Find a kill for themselves. And Hurix, where's Baldette? 2 crucial holds in a row now. 2:15 to go. Making this a game and looking like there's an opportunity for them to find a win if they can keep this up.
And this is exactly where that kind of good fortune, good strategy came in at the end of all of their pushes, where they were able to get it as far as they did. Now if they have a pretty miraculous defense here, which is certainly well within the realm of possibility, it's in the cards for these guys that if they can keep, you know, holding the cart here for even just about another minute and then get another good fight in after, and that's a good pick to start off with, that they could actually hold them here and they could come away with a map win here on Route 66.
Not a fan of that. Tactical vibes are coming out from Hobbs. He thought he had the high ground advantage. They were already at a numbers disadvantage, and what happens? It's great positioning from Baldo, able to deny him. He gets knocked way off the map there. A great Primal Rage coming out from Nitrogen. 3 fights in a row. Hurix down to 120. And all they had to use off that was a Primal Rage, so well executed coming out from the defense.
So now on the attacking side, we're going to be seeing them stacked up with 5 different ultimates. Obviously not going to have Hobbs, who just used his in the last fight, but this is a great opportunity here. Going to have to try to shut down the Mercy or the Zenyatta here. Ideally both, obviously, with SKT maybe getting a double stick if possible. Certainly getting aggressive enough to look for one, and tries to get the stick onto Nitrogen, but just barely misses it.
Still then, both support ultimates to work with. They're going to go ahead and pop the Tactical Visor out here from Zoom. It's going to be into a Transcendence. They also go ahead and pop the Valkyrie, so both teams pretty much dropping everything at this point. And Baldo is now off the map. Convertible can bring him up here, but no, he's going to be taken down. Hanzo as well. That would be the Zenyatta actually going to be dropped here, so they don't even have an opportunity to use that Valkyrie. And just like that, a clean sweep across the board comes out here for Sinatra's Rat Playlist. Potentially an opportunity to contest for Baldo.
Yeah, and that timing that we were talking about before, it's just impeccable here. They have another opportunity to get in there, but it's going to be tough. They have to get onto the point here with really not a lot of options available for them to actually get in, and now losing their Zenyatta almost instantly, forcing that res out. They're going to take a lot of damage as well, and look at Hobbs already pulling out that tac visor, just laying into these guys.
The important thing is that Baldo was on the payload as the Diva was taken out of the mech. Huni as well, getting a little bit of that action on the Tracer with the Pulse Bomb. We see it come out from Josiah, but no, not going to find his mark here. And this will be Sinatra's Rat Playlist securing themselves a second checkpoint, buying another 90 seconds. But Hurix, that's not much to work with at all. That's actually less than what we saw from Where's Baldette, and they've got to push it nearly the distance, at least a couple team fights. This will certainly go to overtime.
Yeah, you've got 2 incredibly difficult team fights here, and you just lost your res utility for the time being. On top of that, you just lost your high ground, and they are getting aggressive.
No reason not to, Hurix. I mean, you haven't pushed the payload far at all. They're buying themselves a lot of time, and the fact that they pick up a couple of kills with it is going to give them more ult charge to save the day. Zoom is still sitting on a Tactical Visor if he needs it. Hurix down to 50 seconds, and they're just going to sit here. There's no reason not to play this aggressive right now. Where's Baldette? A couple team fights, Hurix. They might have this in the bag.
Zoom doing an excellent job of pressuring Chrono before he even lands, and he's going to die so quickly there. Along with that help from the Diva, Crimzo forced to res that out just to keep him up so they can continue pushing here. Only 29 seconds remain.
We're going to go ahead and pop the Tactical Visor here. Can he find anything? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as both teams are going to go ahead and pop those Transcendences. Now Chronodota coming out with a oh, the self-destruct comes out. Whoa, Chronodota as well on the front end finds a few with the Primal Rage here. They are going to get themselves a little bit more of a push here in overtime, and it's going to come down to one final engagement. Neither team really sitting on much. Josiah going to try to save the day with the Pulse Bomb.
They're going to hold right on top of this spawn, and he's going to be able to get in a lot of damage here. Huni, look at this, just already laying and turning these tanks around. Baldo forced to try to get a reset, now going for Zoom, has him quite low. Can he find the kill? It's in overtime.
Pulse Bomb not going to be able to find anything here. No ults really on the upcoming here for either team here, so it's going to be a pretty dry push for both sides. Nitrogen going to have no Primal Rage taken out. Karkar going to get right back up into the fight, though. Going to give them a little bit of that added healing, but the spawn is so far here for the offense. Baldo taken out of the mech here because they have to hold the door somehow. We're going to see the Transcendence come out from the side. Huni sticks it to Zoom. They've got the numbers. Josiah still running around, but it's a Primal Rage coming out here from Nitrogen. Crimzo makes a change over to Sombra, trying to get back as quick as they can. Now a self-destruct on the payload. Doesn't quite knock them off for long enough, but Thunderbolt with the Pulse Bomb, he's going to be immediately demacked again. It looks like we're Baldette. They've got the numbers. Transcendence going to keep him healthy here. They're going to be able to kill off Crimzo in a matter of moments, along with Thunderbolt going to be taken out of the mech. Overtime ticks down. And where's Baldette pulling out the upset here in game number 1?
That was incredibly close, man. And again, you have to wonder what's going through the heads of, you know, this blue team now. Sinatra's rap playlist, sitting here wondering what would have happened. They were so close on so many different occasions. Really solid first point defense, really solid second point defense. Let it go through off of a string of kind of, I guess, poor choices in a way, and just let this one go. And now gonna have to be fighting an uphill battle again. Best of 3 here in the semifinals, so have a couple of chances, obviously, with the draft. You know, having a couple more options for them available, as Dorado and Nepal are still left in the rotation. But it's going to be tough clawing back from a loss like that, where, you know, confidence may have been crippled a little bit because they were just that close.
Well, Hurix, they are going to be switching sides, just so you know. So whereas Baldette will be on defense here, they've got the 1-0 lead as we move to Dorado for game number 2. And as it seems, we do have our other semifinalists in action here. It's both +2 SR and Bedtime Fugitives taken to 3 games to secure their sets. But they are currently going to be going at it in the other semifinal as we head to this one. And Hurix, who's taking this next map, man? Do you think we're going to a game number 3 on Nepal?
I think we're going to go to a game 3, not because I think that Sinatra's rap playlist is just, you know, a significantly better team, and they deserved to win Route 66 or something like that, because obviously they didn't with the way that they played. But I just think that these teams are so close that a game 3 was just kind of a given. Expected. Almost. You know, yeah.
All right, that's what I like to hear. We'll see if Sinatra's rap playlist can snap back into it. It's the same game mode, so it doesn't necessarily change up the pace of it like you might see from, you know, Control Point to like Escort or something like that. So it's going to be rather similar in that fashion. But the real question is, what are they going to be breaking out here on the defensive side? It looks like they're going to keep Zoom with that Soldier 76. I like it. His Genji, again, you know, didn't have a whole lot of room to really, you know, shine with it, I guess you could say. But his 76 has looked pretty good in terms of matching what Hobbs was able to do. But it looks like they're looking for a full-on dive composition here, as Hobbs currently hovering the Genji.
That'd be pretty interesting if they wind up going with it. And I don't feel like Karkar's going to go Pharah, but I mean, it wouldn't be incredibly insane to me, just because there have been instances where we have seen even one tank, one support in competitive games. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary, I guess, but it's just not expected. And it looks like with him going back over to Zenyatta, that is going to be the case. So, you know what? Actually, something I wanted to bring up. Did you see the thing about the automatic pauses they're going to come in? Talk about a lifesaver, man.
And the new... I hope... Okay, so they were very vague about the actual details of the tournament system itself. I mean, it's not an automatic tournament system, but it's in place to help tournament organizers make things go smoothly so that you don't have to do the administration side of things. I'm really interested to know what that entails. What I'm hoping for is that you're able to like input rosters and the actual bracket itself, and it like automatically places them into a match or something like that. That would be nuts. We'd be running these like 3 times a week if that's the case, but probably not. But honestly, it would make life so much easier if I didn't have to actually administrate the tournament. Obviously I have to do some stuff, but I don't have to do literally every single, make sure everything's running fine the entire time. So I don't know what it's going to entail, but to me, all of these changes sound pretty juicy.
Yeah, I'm definitely, as someone who really likes color, someone who definitely likes the more analytical side of things, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of that overhead map kind of stuff, just seeing, the movement, the execution that we see at a more macro-based level. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that they talked about that I'm definitely interested in. Some of the things about, like, team colors and stuff, that's just something that I just would have expected a lot sooner. But, the uniforms and stuff, that's going to be cool. Some of the Overwatch League specific stuff, obviously, going to be pretty hyped about that. But, outside of that, some of the stuff that's going to help us out at the moment, as we are currently just doing stuff like this, that's the kind of stuff I'm really looking forward to, because it's really hype for us as well.
All right, just making sure that Sinatra's rap playlist is good to go. All right, they're good to go. Sorry about that, guys. One of the guys on the side of Where's Baldette was lagging, but we are ready to get into this one. We are in the semifinals here, best of 3 throughout the tournament, as it has been for 75 weeks in a row. Shimmy, I thought you would know that one by now. But we've got a kind of an upset coming out here right now. I mean, Where's Baldette up 1-0 over Sinatra's rap playlist, who won last week off stream. But we'll see as Hobbs makes his move over to the Genji, see if he can contest Zoom up top with that high ground, assuming that's going to be the case. But Nitrogen getting a little aggressive here, along with Baldo. And Josiah in the back being that pest, looking for Karkar. We'll see. He's able to find that kill for himself, but they're going to lose Chrono Dota. Going to get him right back up into this one. And we'll see if they're going to play any aggressive. They're going to look for the high ground approach, trying to knock them around, but SKT, you want Huni up top, trying to find a kill for himself, but they lose the mech from Waldo, so maybe an opportunity here for Sinatra's rap playlist to get aggressive.
Excellent composure from Sinatra's rap playlist there, because they really were losing that at first. Lost Chrono Dota early, forced the res out. They had a couple guys really, really low there, really struggling to stay alive. Hobbs was at 1 HP for some time, but again, that composure is what kept them alive here, and is what's allowing them to get into the market phase of this map here, closer and closer to that first objective, and kind of a little bit of a redemption, I guess, in a way, to what we saw from the last map on Route 66.
Oh, Pulse Bomb. Of course, it's not really going to amount to too much with Mercy around here. Is going to get that CD out of the way. Now into Dragon Blade coming out for Hobbs. Can he find anything? Gets Zoom, but of course, he's going to get back into this one. Immediately pops a Tactical Visor here. Oh my goodness, Baldo finding a double. It looks like Thunderbolt answers for himself, or excuse me, answers back with one of its own Kyrix, but it is a bloodbath across the board. Valkyries on both sides. Convertible actually not able to use his. He got taken down here, but the defense, they still should be able to contest this one with Josiah in the area along with Zoom. Now it looks like the Zenyatta coming back into the mix has Transcendence. Not quite going to be able to save him though, unfortunately, but now Nitrogen is back up here. They've got a Valkyrie. I think the defense might be able to hold.
It's going to be pretty tough still though. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him coming out from SKT1, and now we're going to be having to see if the Pulse Bomb can land, and man, what a that was barely a miss there, and it looks like Where's Baldette is going to be able to hold on here, and they will maintain themselves for the time being. 140 on the clock here, Storm, as a lot was used there defensively for sure.
A lot indeed here. Zoom just going to back off of this one here, as able to scrounge up a few kills for himself in that last fight here. Everything was dropped there for the side of Sinatra's rap playlist. So they put everything on the line, and it's going to take them a little bit to charge back up. I mean, Crimso's only at 40%, Hobbs about halfway there, Karkar and coming up on a Transcendence, but losing Chrono Dota not going to amount to too much now. Maybe an opportunity for them to get aggressive as they actually go ahead, pop that Primal Rage out from Nitrogen. He is all the way in the back line here, and that's going to allow for Karkar and Crimso. They're going to get picked off here by Nitrogen. No one really back there to peel. And ultimately, Where's Baldette looking very strong under 60 seconds to go.
Smart play from Nitrogen, was pretty close to getting a kill onto the Genji there in the form of Hobbs. But obviously, I mean, you don't want to be in a situation where you're trading, especially defensively with that spawn being so far away. So, and smart play there from Nitrogen to just pull out of that one, say, you know what, I'm not trying to play this one-for-one trade game, as he is, of course, on the Winston. So here with 30 seconds remaining, it's really just going to come down to this last play. Can they execute? And already losing Karkar, man, and Hobbs.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm usually okay, not usually. I'm never a fan of initiating a fight on defense, especially on defense with just a random self-destruct. It paid off big time though. They didn't see that one coming at all. But Convertible now taken out by Thunderbolt. Transcendence out here from the side of Karkar. They're gonna invest everything into this as we will hit overtime. Now we're gonna see Zenyatta for the defense pop his own here. Tactical Visor out for Zoom, able to find Karkar. Dragon Blade though, can Hobbs save the day? Looking for something, but ultimately not quite going to be able to find his mark. Does grab Nitrogen in the end, Curix, but this payload was pushed so far back that there still might be an opportunity to contest for the side of the defense. They do have Convertible in the area, but I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to be forced to give this one up, give them that extra 230, and look to defend in the middle phase of the map.
And Sinatra's rap playlist, who were excellent in that first fight. Again, maintaining composure just so well. Their supports staying alive, keeping Hobbs up as well. And all of a sudden, I mean, they were just barely hanging on for a second there. And now, with a second opportunity, can they do what they did at the beginning? Just, again, outlasting the opposition.
They've got plenty of time to kind of reconvene here on the defensive side of things, as it doesn't look like the offense is really going to have an opportunity to get too aggressive as they get picked off rather soon in that fight. Zoom really taking control of the high ground. Thunderbolt really going to have to contest him, as now we see Karkar making the move over to the Lucio, something we definitely have known. Oh, Huni finding a double there in the back. Couldn't stick it to a better target as he finds both support kills here. That's going to open up a massive window here for the side of Sinatra's rap playlist to basically not drop any ultimates and be able to move this cart forward.
And Hobbs just generating that ult, so he's going to have the blade ready to go. Karkar at the moment is on a Lucio, so he's going to have a lot of speed to work with, and that's going to also help out Chrono Dota as well to be aggressive whenever they are playing around that cart. Now Chrono getting very aggressive, as we were just saying that, and looking to try to knock the Zenyatta off, actually forcing him into a corner a little bit, but he's getting in a little bit of trouble himself, sitting at 16 HP, trying to get back to get some healing, but not going to make it all the way. Crimzo might be fast with trying to get the res, but as he is coming off of respawn, that's not going to happen.
And the random self-destructs are, you know, what you're hoping for is that Mercy. If you don't get the Mercy, you basically get, like, the cooldown off the Mercy's res itself out of the way, and the opportunity to get aggressive, but ultimately doesn't matter too much there, as there was Nitrogen pressing to the payload, along with Baldo able to secure some kills for themselves. Down to 35 seconds just like that here. So now we're in a situation to where's Baldette have an opportunity to hold them, you know, extremely far away from that second checkpoint here. And with where the payload's at right now, I mean, this is like two-fight territory. They're gonna have to do something with this Dragon Blade, and they're gonna have to get some ults up rather quickly. That sound barrier, they need that from Karkar right now into Zoom's Tactical Visor.
They're gonna have the allowance to get aggressive into that Zenyatta, and they're not going to find him initially, and that's going to be a problem, as it's going to force the res out onto Hobbs from Crimzo, and that's going to be the Valkyrie as well.
Go ahead and pop the Transcendence out here. Valkyrie comes out now from the defense. Sound barrier out from Karkar. Is he going to mount to too much Hobbs? He's going to come out here with a Dragon Blade. Finds, it looks like the Zenyatta, but he's brought right back up. But it's one Baldo with the triple kill as he lays out that self-destruct here. Crimzo, he can't res them all here. They don't have anything else to really work with now. Gets Chrono Dota back up into the fight here, but maybe an opportunity to push this a little bit farther. They need to trust in their carries here. Huni ready to go with the pulse bomb. Can he find anything? Looks for one. Grabs a lot of health off of Baldo. They're ultimately still pushing their way back into this one here. It's a pretty similar spawn for both sides at this part, with Baldo and Nitrogen the only two survivors on the payload. Sinatra's rap playlist, they're going to hold on for the time being. They're going to have an opportunity here.
And this is looking like a little bit of a flip-flop from what we saw in Route 66, where Sinatra's rap playlist was holding so well defensively first, and then, you know, just kind of skating by was this blue team here, who have just done phenomenal on defense so far, and just have let things go just with seconds remaining. Josiah going to contest this just to trigger this overtime to continue. And again, one more opportunity before they could potentially find themselves moving into the final phase of the map, and Hobbs pulling out the blade might solidify this fight.
2 fights in a row here with the Dragon Blade. He gets the Zenyatta to open up the fight twice in a row here, but he gets brought right back up into this one. Thunderbolt able to connect, just drops his self-destruct on the payload. They don't have any numbers here for the side of where's Baldette. And Sinatra's rap playlist grabbing a crucial second checkpoint here. as they face elimination in this match here. It's 90 seconds isn't much to work with, but they do have a sound barrier at their backs.
Hobbs again looking for this blade. They've done fantastic things with it so far, and now holding on to Karkar's sound barrier, they're going to have an opportunity to go ahead and get aggressive, push the pace of this fight forward, and they're just looking for that opportunity now.
More rage out from Nitrogen. What can he make of it? Doesn't look like it's going to be a whole lot. Not a whole lot of targets to really knock around in the back as he's going to re-engage. Not really going to force the sound barrier out of Karkar at this point. Didn't want to drop that one. I think that's a wise decision. Trying to maybe force out some ultimates here from the defense, but ultimately, I think that was great coordination from Where's Baldette to realize they didn't need to drop that tactical visor or transcendence. No real threat to that high ground. But as I say that, Hurix, they're going to pop everything from both sides for the most part. Still sitting on a Valkyrie here from the side of Convertible if they need it. Oh my goodness, Convertible caught in the crossfire of the pulse bomb that was on the ground from Huni, Hurix, and this is looking like the Rat Playlist guys. They have an opportunity to complete the map. They've got a Dragon Blade to work with as well.
Baldo hanging on the point right now, going to get forced out of his mech as Josiah falls as well, and this is going to be another moment here where Sinatraas Rat players are going to be able to try to collectivize and make sure that they hold on to this momentum that they've created for themselves 2 fights ago now. And Huni getting into position, looking for Nitrogen, going to get pressured in the back though, and support's now in position defensively.
Dragon Blade's out here from Hobbs. Needs to be a massive playmaker like he was before here. Self-destruct does find Nitrogen. He's going to get brought back up. At least I would assume here. Yes, he's going to be into the fight. Josiah is out of this one. It's a 6-on-5 on the payload, but Crimzo's out of the fight. That's a huge pickup. Both supports, no incoming healing for the side of Sinatraas Rat Playlist. They're going to have to pull out a miracle at this point, Yarks. I just don't see it happening. They do have a diva, but no, he's going to be taken out of the mech. Chrono Dota, he is the lone survivor. He's going to be taken down. Huni actually is still in the mix, but ultimately he is not going to be able to take on the world, as that is not the real Huni. Overtime, going to take down, and where's Baldette? Stopping them shy of that map completion here, and they've got their work cut out for them. See if we're going to be going into the finals, or if we go to a game 3.
Excuse me, you told me before that was the real Huni, man.
I lied to you, man. I'm sorry.
Can't believe
you don't see him until Saturday or Sunday morning. I think it's on that Saturday, I believe so. Maybe it's Friday night. Man, I don't even know when the World Championship is. I better look that up.
Only thing I care about is Overwatch. That's it.
Overwatch fan only.
All right, so now as things flop, you have to remember what this looks like. I mean, it looks almost exactly like a mirror image of what we saw in Re 66 here. And if we see Sinatra's Rat Playlist holding this out right before that last checkpoint and stealing this map away, then boy, will it ever be pretty much an exact carbon copy, just kind of, again, a mirror image of what we saw before. So now it's really kind of up to where's Baldette to make a stand and try to take this 2-0 before it looks exactly like what they did just one map ago, and we go into a game 3 on Nepal where it's going to be difficult. I mean, both of these teams are really going to have to claw into that one. Zoom right now, of course, is on a Pharah, so you know, maybe that's something for the future. I know I've seen some of these guys over here in Sinatra's rap playlist on Pharah before too, so they have that in their repertoire. If I'm not mistaken, Hobbs can play it. So obviously that is an option. If it does wind up going to Nepal, both these teams are going to be pretty close, I would say. Just, you know, off of what I know from them individually, but as teams, you know, it's hard to expect what's going to come out of these guys if it actually does go to a game number 3.
Well, this is it. Everything on the line, and Zoom going over to the Farm Mercy as a little bit of a change up here. Convertible on the Lucio for the first time that we've seen now. And they're going to have to worry about Hobbs here with that Soldier 76 as they try, like you said, to push us to Nepal for the game number 3 in this semifinal matchup. We'll see what kind of a pace they're going to set. That's the real question here, because it took Sinatra's Rap Playlist quite a bit of time to actually secure this first checkpoint. Even the second one was in overtime here, but they're not going to waste any time getting rather aggressive, trying to control that high ground, and Zoom going to do just that. He gets rid of that Soldier 76 threat, which is going to open up a world of opportunity now behind that defense matrix. He's going to go down in a matter of moments. And where's Baldette? Looking strong to get things started.
Those tracers are just so elusive when they get onto that objective, and it's so hard to take them down. Finally, an impact rocket, a direct impact rocket rather, from Zoom is the thing that actually cancels Huni out at the end of the day. And now Zoom holding on to 87% of his charge towards that barrage. That's going to be big for them going forward to try to solidify this objective, as they have stellar positioning going into this fight.
Well, they're going to try to contest as best they can. Self-destruct comes out. Zoom, though, with the barrage, able to find Karkar. He's going to get brought back up into the fight, though. Thunderbolt is taken out of the mech. Can Hobbs find the aerial threat? No, it's going to be checkpoint secured. They leave the payload, even though Hobbs picks up a couple kills for himself. He gets rid of Baldo's mech as well here, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to stand tall here, as he is pretty much alone for the most part. So they've got nearly 5 minutes to work with for the second phase of the map. And where's Baldette? Looking to try to cruise onward to the finals, and they can keep this up. They're definitely set up for success.
Fantastic pace set by Where's Baldette so far, and some awkward play, I guess, from the Pharah there, but still got the job done, as the rest of the team was able to push everybody else off the payload and away from the payload long enough to actually capture that objective before the fight was even won. Now Josiah in the back going to be turning the heads of Hobbs and some of these supports now, as they're going to go ahead and get aggressive and try to push this fight forward. And there we do see the ultimate coming out from Karkar, the Transcendence.
Sound barrier on the opposite end. No, it's not going to be into a whole lot, but it's going to allow for them to get better positioning, get aggressive with this one. We see a self-destruct on the payload come out from Thunderbolt. Will find a kill for himself. Meanwhile, it's still Where's Baldo controlling the high ground. The barrage out from Zoom up top, able to find the mech, but ultimately was taken down from below there here. Now Hobbs trying to control the high ground. Josiah finds a pick for himself, but ultimately, Sinatra's lap playlist, they've got the numbers, they've got the resurrects in order here, thanks to that Valkyrie coming out from Crimzo, and they're going to hold their ground.
And this is the section of the map that gets very difficult to kind of encroach on, because, you know, you have that high ground control coming out from Hobbs. You have Chrono Dodo and Thunderbolt who can, you know, kind of protect Hobbs to some degree, as well as that Mercy who's going to be able to shut down any kind of aggression that comes out from any kind of first pick that comes. So again, it's just the nature of the composition and the nature of this map, the way it works in the current meta with Mercy as well. It's just tough to push this.
Well, they're having a rough time trying to get together as a full 6-man squad here. It's kind of all over the place. We've got Baldo out of the mech, should be right back into it in a couple of seconds here to look for another push, so long as he doesn't get picked off. But you're gonna have to find a way to contest Hobbs up top here. Sitting on a tactical visor, we'll see if Karkar's able to peel for him, because gotta imagine Baldo's gonna go up there along with Nitrogen, try to get him off of that one. Zoom, of course, on that Genji, halfway to his ultimate. Tactical visor now coming out from Hobbs. We'll see if he finds anything. Actually, self-destruct is gonna be able to force him off the high ground. Finds a kill though onto Baldo as a parting gift, and that's gonna be Sinatra's rap playlist. Find themselves a little bit more time. 2:30 to go here.
And Huni and Josiah in a little bit of a 1v1. That's gonna be taken advantage of by Chrono Dodo there, who's going to come in on the Winston, and he's going to be able to secure that kill. It's a late one at that, so Tracer now going to come off a respawn. Does have the mobility to get back quick, but Huni right now trying to get away from that Genji with just over 2 minutes remaining, rather. You know, defensively, it looks like Sinatra's rap playlist have finally kind of found themselves in a nice groove.
Seems to be the case. Both support ultimates being the important thing to kind of take away from this with 2 minutes to go. Josiah, though, looking for a little bit of a kill if he can possibly find a way up to that high ground on the Tracer. Self-destruct goes out. It finds one for himself. Doesn't look like the Transcendent's able to really save anyone for the time being. So again, they're going to be forced to go back to the drawing board right now. And this is a Sinatra's rap playlist here. I think we really expected. They've got 95 seconds to go to try to force this to a Nepal map.
And as they are able to generate this attack visor, that's just more time that they can kind of ensure that they'll have a great pick there from Hobbs, forcing that res out. Now when they get into this next fight, they do have that slight advantage, which again is just pushed ever so farther away because of the fact that they do have that Valkyrie. Now, because of the fact that Valkyrie's ready for convertible, maybe lessen to some degree, and Zoom also with a nice pick coming out from that Dragon Blade.
And that was pretty much what they needed. They needed to capitalize on that, find a little bit more than just one with the Dragon Blade if they wanted any chance of being able to secure the second checkpoint at this point. Hurix now, Pulse Bomb comes through. Zoom caught on the edge of it as well. He finds two for the price of that ultimate, Hurix. And just like that, Sinatra's rap playlist back in a commanding position. I just don't see this happening with two tanks, no support on the payload here for the side of Where's Baldette. Down to 40 seconds, Hurix, which ultimately means One final opportunity. Everything on the line here to try to take this to the finals, but Hurix, it's going to take them 2 team fights to be able to secure this one. We saw it from the other teams, where's Sinatra's rap playlist, but I just don't know if it's going to happen for these guys.
And again, you're pushing in without that first tick. That first box ticked. You know, you don't have that resurrect available for when you do dive in and get aggressive, maybe lose your tank off the bat. Hobbs does have that tac visor that he was able to hold on to initially, as well as the fact that they have so many ultimates stacked up here. Chrono Dodo going to be able to kind of get that health reset, and they really need to get their Zenyatta in there and actually charged up to be able to generate that ultimate, that Transcendence is something that they're going to require here to be able to push this through.
Oh, Hobbs just being knocked all over the place by the tanks. Baldo, though, going to be taken out of the mech. Transcendence not quite able to save him in time. Self-destruct on the payload. Finds 2 for himself, Hurix. And Thunderbolt carrying the bulk of his team on his shoulders right now. Huni cleans up Zoom, and overtime going to take down here. And we are headed to a game number 3 in the semifinals tonight.
So again, kind of what we expected. It's just been not in the way that we expected it, where teams have just been, you know, held in strange places, where it's just been pushed through in overtimes and everything like that, where it's been very, very close. And again, this second stage of the map is incredibly difficult to push through against a very, very strong team with a lot of coordination, good communication, stuff like that, because again, there's just so many options for them, especially given the Mercy meta that we're currently in, and will be in for some time as long as she's in this current iteration. But now moving over into Nepal, it's again just going to be a map that's both teams are going to have to claw into and really kind of dig themselves into to be able to try to get some kind of advantage, where, you know, you have seen Pharahs, you have seen soldiers, you have seen a lot of tracers as well. So there's a lot of different options that we have already seen from both of these teams before in the past. So just about who's going to be able to execute better as a team.
Well, they did switch sides again, just so you know. We've got Sinatra's rap playlist over on the blue, and where's Baldette on the red for this final game. This is game 3, guys, in the semifinals here tonight. Do have a couple of other pretty solid teams battling out on the other side of the bracket, which would be +2 SR, has some familiar names along with Bedtime Fugitives. Exclamation point bracket in the Twitch chat, guys, if you want to check that out and follow along while you watch the action here. But we're headed to Village to get things started. This is a best of 3 on control point, of course, and potentially some Pharah versus Pharah. Got to see a little bit of it on the push from the side of where's Baldette on Dorado there, Hurix, but didn't get to see the Pharah versus Pharah, so should be exciting to see the least, as both teams are going to be pretty much going with mirror comps here.
Right, so diving right into this here, as we are going to be seeing the Pharahs coming out. And sure, I mean, Baldo, they've actually kind of swapped things around, as Baldo actually is on a Winston right now, and nitrogen rather, wrong element, is going to be on the Diva. So again, just switching over exactly what they were going to be doing. So I wonder what the reasoning behind this is.
All right, Hurix, who's taking it?
Oh, this is gonna be tough, man. You don't put this on me. I'm gonna say Sinatra's rap playlist takes this, but I don't really have a reason, because it's just, again, so close.
I gotta agree with that one here. I'm going with Sinatra's rap playlist as well. But whereas Baldette has looked rather impressive, to say the least, is coming into this, they were certainly the underdogs on my list, to say the least. But regardless, it's a bloodbath to get this one started. The Pharahs are duking it out, but ultimately it's gonna be numbers advantage for where's Baldette. They are going to be able to secure the first points here, as Uni still in the mix, able to escape with his life here. But no, as I say that, Josiah follows through, able to recall back and comes through with the late pickoff.
So now we're going to be seeing Josiah fired up at the moment, and control, of course, going over to where's Baldette. Now, with this control means that they are going to be kind of ahead in ultimate charge at the moment, and they might have a little bit of a positional advantage at the moment as well. And a stick going out, not going to find anything for Josiah, but they're still getting aggressive and still finding kills here, Storm.
No reason to not be aggressive, I think, especially when you start to see Sinatra's rap playlist kind of trickling in, not as a collective unit, and making a really strong push to the payload here. and they are just going to be cleaned up across the board here. 40% and counting, and there is seriously no stopping this man on the Tracer. He was the one to keep an eye out on. We've seen him tear up the AGs for months on end, and continuing to do it here tonight.
And look how far behind Karkar is right now on this sound barrier. They're going to get aggressive. They're just kind of boosting their way through onto the point, but he's going to drop incredibly fast, down to 40% now on his ultimate charge. So just so far behind at the moment. They really need this fight to allow for Karkar to kind of catch up on that, so that even if they do get this, they have an opportunity to take the next fight as well.
A good pulse bomb from Hobbs, able to get the D-Mech, but it's the barrage from up top. Finds Zoom for himself here. They still got the numbers here. They go ahead and pop that Valkyrie here from Hanzo. We'll see. Now barrage coming out from the other end. Huni not quite able to find anyone off that one. He's going to be dropped for the most part. Still, they're trying to battle their way back into this one, but ultimately it's going to be just a trickle back to the point here from the side of where's Baldette, because they want to get up to 99%. Now they have Zoom coming back into the mix. A little bit of that added damage. We'll see if anybody can find his number here as kills coming for the side of Sinatra's rap playlist here. They seemingly have the opportunity to make the flip, but it's going to be at 99% if that's the case.
97%, and really kind of off the back of the fact that Crimzo was able to stay alive for so long on that point, not only lending his healing and damage boosting abilities, but also getting some of those reses off as well, just maintaining that momentum for his team. And that's what it's all about here on King of the Hill, is momentum, trying to hold on to that, trying to get it in your favor, swing it when you can, whenever possible. And now it's going to be Sinatra's rap playlist looking to hold on here, as Karkar does have this sound barrier available, and some of their guys are getting pretty low now as Hobbs actually falls early.
Self-destruct way out into nothing there from the side of, I believe that was Thunderbolt. No, that was actually Nitrogen, I believe. Sound barrier coming out from Karkar. We'll see they lose Farah early on, though, but Crimzo, see if he's able to find anything for himself, as he's actually going to be taken down. Josiah comes through with that one here, and they've got the numbers on the point. They've got a barrage, a Primal Rage. I don't think Hobbs can do it by himself. He is in an impossible situation. This point is going to be flipped. Overtime should take down in a matter of seconds. Huni going to be able to contest this one for a brief moment or two, but he doesn't have any support here. That's going to be round number one, going to where's Baldette, and now one round away from moving themselves into the finals.
Very, very close indeed. Again, yeah, that best of 3 change that we made, what was it, like a month ago now, I think?
Oh, that was way long. That was like at least 2 to 3 months ago.
2 to 3? No
at
way.
Least I'd say 2 months ago. I made it like when the change was made in actual competitive play, like shortly thereafter.
I would have guessed like 6 weeks maximum. I feel like I haven't. I feel like we haven't.
You can go check the rules if you want to for the past.
But either way,
well, regardless,
we are going to be seeing some changes here, as it is going to be on Sanctum, and it is going to be Hobbs actually over on a McCree, as opposed to the Soldier that you would probably likely see more often than not. But they're still going to be running that 3 tank here with Huni on the Zarya, and that Zarya is kind of a stable pick for a lot of teams on this map, but not going to be something that whereas Baldette actually goes with here. They are instead opting for double DPS with Zoom on that Junkrat, and that Junkrat is incredibly lethal, and you can see the effects of it already.
Yeah, that's going to be rough to get past. The Reinhardt, the Zarya, the Diva not making the difference with that triple tank setup we saw coming out there from Sinatra's rap playlist. They get burned down by a Junkrat who is already sitting on a Riptire, not 30-40 seconds into this match here. And man, this is going to be a rough round for these guys if they don't find a way to get a grip on Zoom.
And that little swap of like what roles that we were seeing from the tanks is really working out too, because they're looking so solid at the moment on top of everything. Riptire coming out here from Zoom. Can he find anything? Looks like, oh, actually saved there by Huni.
They're going to look to get aggressive off this. 25% and counting for themselves. Coming up on a pulse bomb from the side of Josiah, looking for something. They don't even need it to take down Chrono Dota. Gets right back up into this one pulse bomb. Going to force him out of position. Finds a bit of damage onto him. They pop the Transcendence as well here. And where's Baldette are rolling over Sinatra's rap playlist at the time, Urix, and they've got a self-destruct to get a reset. We'll see if Hobbs can find anything with a Deadeye, if he even has an opportunity. Finds Hanzo, or excuse me, Zenyatta around the corner. A Deadeye connects onto the other support, so he picks up both for himself, Urix. But they're nowhere nowhere even near to the payload, or not the payload, the point. All over the place, Urix. It's a bloodbath, but Sinatra's rap playlist, that'll earn their way back into this one.
Exactly, much like the game itself. But now, trying to hold on here as Hobbs looking for this shot, can't seem to find it as he's just whiffing a lot, just uncharacteristic, I would say, to some degree, but finally coming through for the team after a Zarya grab was actually required, and he dies out. So still trying to get this flipped very, very late into this round, and if they do wind up getting it, which is looking like that is going to be the case, they still have to hold out for a significant portion of the round to be able to actually pull this one out and take it to a round number 3. And oh man, they're making it so difficult.
Yeah, they have had to drop so much into this fight. Nearly every single ult, other than that Earthshatter Riptire, is going to be taken down by the Fire Strike. Chronodota saving the day on that one. Could have been disastrous if Zoom was able to be the savior there for the side of Where's Baldette. But a second consecutive round here. They're 90+% off of their first hold. 94 right now. Not a lot to work with ultimately, but even so, they're in a solid position to be able to move into the finals right here with one team fight victory.
Here it's all about making sure that that Mercy stays insulated behind all these tanks, keep them alive, allow these guys to try to, you know, kind of push into a pretty bad spot and then get aggressive on top of them. Chronodota, what a slam down from the hammer there.
That was a must-have. The follow-through is there with that self-destruct. Not even sure if it was necessary. He laid down 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken here. So considerably a good play coming out from those guys. 40% and counting, 5 of them on fire right now. They're coming up on a sound barrier as well, so in a good position to try to force this to a game, or excuse me, a round number 3 if they can keep this up. If they can get a big ult here from Hobbs as they actually go ahead and pop the Primal Rage. Almost knocked the Reinhardt off the point, but the self-destruct comes out. As I say that, Hobbs picks up a double with the Deadeye, but on the other end, it's all about Zoom with the Junkrat. See if his Riptire can actually find anything here. Going for something into the sound barrier. Grabs a crucial kill on the Chronodota. Now a Graviton Surge out from the side of Huni is the follow through here. They've got the damage from the side of the Zarya. Now it's going to be the Hobbs back in the Big Circs, and they hold on somehow.
Huni, what a play there from him. Trying to get that grab down. Actually gets it in between bursts of that defense matrix that was coming out from Nitrogen. And they land it. 80% now. And as you say, and counting, Crimzo, again, just staying alive. That's the name of the game here with this triple tank. Allow these grabs to come out as often as humanly possible. Give space for Hobbs as much as you possibly can, and keep Crimzo alive at all costs.
Wolf's Bomb, a huge chunk of damage onto Chronodota. He is getting a little bit of incoming healing, though, as they pop the Valkyrie out there, able to heal quite a few of the teammates. Now we're going to see a Deadeye. He finds Convertible Hobbs coming through clutch. I think that could have saved the game here, but they need to get a grip on Zoom right now, who made a change over to that Soldier 76. Although, coming up on on his Primal Rage, going to try to knock them off the point, try to secure it, as this is an overtime. They do grab the point in their favor. Nobody's here to contest. They need to get somebody back on it. He's not allowing for it to happen here, but no! Josiah, 2 of them, they drop off the map. The boop from Karkar. They make the flip here. The sound barrier comes through, but nobody's here to contest. And Karkar coming through with the massive Lucio plays, and we're headed to a round 3.
Man, Baldo was just trying to hang on. If there was some kind of grappling thing that you could have, you know, just if your hand happens to hit that ledge, Baldo would have made it. I mean, he touched the ledge about 3 different times, it seemed like, but just wasn't able to get that extra little bit of distance to actually get up there. The barrier came up, but wasn't high enough either. And man, what a play there from Karkar just to secure things. And it was looking like it was kind of dire at that moment. Now moving on to Shrine here, we're talking game 3, round 3 for this semifinal, and boy, it's been quite an experience so far.
This is only the semifinals, guys. We still have one set, one best of 3 coming your way, with probably some notable names from the other squad that could potentially make it here, but this is it. Everything on the table. Hobbs over onto McCree. Zoom having some faith in that Pharah here on Shrine. Not sure if Hobbs is going to be able to find him, but that's going to he's really going to have to step up to the plate and find a way to deal with Zoom, who did pretty well. Actually was a massive playmaker with the Pharah on Village in particular here, so we'll see what he's able to do with it.
And they have to be careful now that Hobbs has warmed up. I mean, this could potentially be an issue for them as Baldo gets dropped very, very low, but they're making trades left and right, and Crimzo actually falling. That's going to allow easy cleanup here for Where's Baldette.
Oh man, that was crucial. Able to find him early on, and now Chronodota off a respawn. Or excuse me, he's not off a respawn. He's just all the way back there. I thought he was taken down early here, but no, that's going to be Where's Baldette. again, Shrine can be so difficult to take, and we've seen 2 rounds in a row whereas Baldette got 90+% off their first hold. So if I'm Sinatra's Brat playlist, I cannot let that happen right now. Huni needs to find this pulse bomb, needs to find someone. Hobbs ready to go with the Deadeye. If he can find Zoom, would be big. Self-destruct, though, to get this fight started. Do they get to safety? Yes. Going to be the case, but no. Baldo getting out early on. Going to get res right back up into this one. A sound barrier comes out here from the defense, but not quite in time. Not going to save the Mercy here, and this is going to open up a big opportunity for Rat Playlist to be able to come through and take this point.
Oh, Hobbs did wind up using the Deadeye there, but won't be able to secure enough before his death to actually allow for Huni to try to make a play here. He's going to be hanging on for quite some time, probably going to get a late death. This convertible goes ahead and just gives him a nice uppercut to the chin. He's going to be on respawn here, 45%. We saw before how Sinatra's Rat Playlist almost always gives up the point early and then somehow makes a comeback. Can they do it one more time here on Shrine? At first, obviously, they have to steal it back.
Gonna have to do that in the next couple fights. I mean, 60%. It depends how long this next fight is. They don't have a Transcendence ready to go from Karkar. They do have Valkyrie on both ends, so this very well could be the final fight here, especially since they're taking so long to initiate. But the reason being, Baldo going to be taken down. See if they can get him back up into this one as he is sitting on the Primal Rage. They go ahead and pop that pop Valkyrie here from Hanzo, or excuse me. That is Homo for Hanzo. That would be the Mercy. Bring back up the Winston now. 80% Hurix. And yet to really see them make a move on the point. Coming up on the Transcendence, Karkar going to go ahead and pop this one. We'll see if they can find the Mercy as it looks like Josiah coming out with a Pulse Bomb. He's going to stick, finds Karkar. That's a huge pickup, but now Hobbs sitting on a Tactical Visor. If he can get it off in time, he's going to go ahead and pop this one, Hurix. See if he can find anybody, but ultimately he's going to be taken down. And where's Baldette? Somehow hold on, Hurix. 99%. It's going to take down. And we've got, where's Baldette heading to the finals tonight?
After such an insane series. I mean, we're talking, again, Game 3, Round 3. And while Shrine didn't exactly look like the rest of the set, Underdo, of course, being the scorer, but here's that play we saw before where the Winston fell off the side, and again, you could see his hand just reaching up like, I got it! Not quite, buddy.
Oh, man. GG's all around. That was probably one of the most intense semifinals we've had in a long time, to say the least. I mean, Game 3, Round 3 on the pulse. So GG's to